Boys and girls, Alex here with Mynd Property Management. We are talking all about Seattle and how to invest your money into real estate and win in the Pacific Northwest. And my guest today is the expert in the area as well as overall when it comes to real estate investing and managing properties. His name is Enrique Jevons. Enrique, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks, Alex.
Hey, set you up for our viewers. 850 properties you currently manage for Mynd in the Seattle area. Of course, we're growing fast. And I think even another more important piece to some extent is that you own 73 properties personally, correct?
Yes. That's at the moment. I've sold a bunch recently, so I was over 100, but yeah, 73 and still very happy about them. Single family homes and multifamily both.
That's very, very cool. So wide spectrum of experience over a decade. And of course, today's question is, I'm sure you can't wait to get into it. I certainly can't. How to choose a property management company as an investor. Now, I'm going to set this up. Some of you may be rolling your eyes, be like, okay, you guys are a property management company. You're going to tell me how to choose a property manager. It's going to be biased. No, we're not going to be biased. And here's why. I'll give you the reason why. We are part of NARPM, which is National Association of Residential Property Managers. We are very focused on servicing our clients, right? But also making sure the industry wins. Because guess what happens when bad property manager is out there, and there's some of them out there, they erode trust between real estate investor and property managers. And then what happens is, as an investor, you become landlocked to only the area where you can personally go out and vacuum the house or repaint or whatever. We talked all about these mistakes in previous little casts or episodes. But today, Enrique, enlighten us. How would you go about choosing a professional property management company for your home, for your property?
Sure. Yeah, I think it's very similar to hiring an employee, hiring a general contractor, for example. So it's very similar in that respect, in that for example, if you're going to hire an employee, you're going to want to make sure not only are they an outstanding person, have an outstanding background experience that you need for your area, but you also want to make sure that they're going to be a good fit, that they're going to be able to work with you. If you're hiring them, right, you're going to want to be working with them on a regular basis. Well, it's the very same way with a property manager in that it's an extended, long-term, year after year relationship. And so you want to make sure that it's somebody that you're going to personally get along with, in addition to being an expert in the field. So that's one part of it. Another part I would say is similar to like hiring a general contractor, for example. If you're going to have a general contractor go and, let's say, flip a house for you or do something big, right? You don't just hire them and say, go to it, or hire them, go to it, and here's a set of plans even. You're going to want to occasionally, periodically check in with them, see how they're doing, and because otherwise you can show up on the last day when the project seems to be completed and the general contractor calls you and says, hey, I'm done with the job, here you go. And you walk in, you're like, holy cow, that's the wrong paint color, or that's the wrong carpet, and the general contractor's like, what? This is what you told me, or this is what I thought you wanted. They're sometimes, for lack of direction, they will do what they think is in your best interest, but it may not be exactly what you wanted. Perhaps it's what every other client of theirs has wanted. And so that can also be, why people get upset and they think that they've hired the wrong person. It's not necessarily that they hired the wrong person, but they were just lacking in giving them the right direction. So it is both a combination of hiring the right person, but also providing that person with the right direction in which you want them to go. The same with an employee. When you hire an employee, for them to be successful, you're going to have to certainly periodically check in with them to see how they're doing, if they have any questions, to, again, kind of refocus, put them on the right track so that they are doing what you want them to do. Because if you don't, then of course, they're going to, very well-intentioned, are going to do what their past experiences told them, or do what they think is what you're wanting them to do, or what their other employers have done in the past. And so that is where it is a combination of, hiring the right person, but also then providing them with that direction so that they can be successful. Because obviously it's a partnership. It's not, you're not going to be able to be successful if they're not, and vice versa. They're not going to be able to be successful if you're not. So it is a partnership in that way. So yes, just like hiring an employee, hiring a contractor, you try and get references and all the usual things that go into play there. Sorry, Alex, you were going to ask something?
Well, I was just curious, when does the price enter your mind? I mean, it has to, right? Where does the price come in as you are evaluating people to service your properties?
Yeah, so price also is very important. Obviously, nobody ever wants to be gouged, but at the same time, very much, it is going to be, you're going to get what you pay for type of a scenario. So with property management is a service industry. And so as a result, there are lots of different components to property management. And so if you think you're paying for a set of services, you may not realize that there's a whole lot of other services that perhaps are not included. So you do need to kind of, make sure you ask, what is included at this price? What's not included at this price? Can you, and if those are items that you want to add on. So for example, an eviction guarantee. If making sure that, that you don't ever have to pay for an eviction, you don't ever want to go through that experience, you can ask the property manager, hey, do you guarantee against evictions? And if you do, what is covered? Do you pay, for example, up to a certain threshold to protect yourself from an eviction, or not at all? Or the same goes for, well, what if a tenant stops paying rent? And there's all sorts of reasons why a tenant might stop paying rent, medical calamity or whatever. And so you want to ask the property manager, hey, do you cover lost rent if indeed, or is that an additional service that I can hire you for? Maybe you don't offer it at this price range, but for a different price, you might offer it, that sort of thing. So there's conversations that you're going to want to have with a potential property manager is what is covered, what is not covered, what are all the fees. Just because a property manager might advertise a certain specific fee doesn't mean that there are not other fees included, right? Or not included. Yeah.
To recap, it's like, look, it's like hiring an employee. So find the right person that you can work with, because it's going to be hopefully a multi-year, mutually profitable relationship. Provide some guidance and feedback. Look at your numbers, look at your reports, make sure things are good, stay on top of your properties, but let them do the work as they're the professionals. And number 3 is be mindful of pricing deviations when folks advertise one fee, but in reality, like all these other things will cost you extra. So in other words, kind of like a menu of services, and ask, I like this particular advice you gave. Ask what is not included. And of course, my little bit addition to it, Enrique, would be like, if pricing is not on the website, if it's not published, if it's not transparent, like I'm thinking somebody's hiding something.
Right.
Or they don't care enough. There you go, boys and girls. Well, so now you have an idea on how to go pick a property management company. Of course, Mynd Property Management would love to earn your business. We run, but even before that, we do a lot of education. We'll run events. We run webinars. And you can go to mind.co, check out, look, click in Seattle, check out Enrique, and you can reach out to him with any questions. And of course, we thank you very much for watching. We hope we helped you out today.
Yeah, thank you.